Looks a bit fuzzy on here. Might just because it's a little bit dark. But hello, welcome to another video on the An Everyday Angler YouTube channel. Bit of a different one today. It's not just a standard day ticket, or standard day session, should I say, at a lake, river, blah, blah, blah. I am at the Church Farm Fishery Complex, and I'm actually here to do a couple of days fishing, which, again, is a rarity for me. And as you would expect, as this is probably going to be the only night fish. Why are my wipers still going? There we go. The only night fish of the year. Potentially might do another one in the next month or so. We'll see. It's the first one I've done, I think. I just haven't had time to get on the bank for this kind of session. So I booked a couple of days off work so I could do a Thursday, Friday, go home at some point on Saturday morning, I think. Been glorious weather up until today. We've had some lovely weather. But today, obviously, it's peeing down. Absolutely hammering down. Although, actually, at the precise moment, it seems to have calmed down a bit. So I should probably get a wiggle on and try and get the bivvy up and, yeah, get things in order. But there's no point in me doing any filming until I've done that because everything will get soaked. So I think I will grab the bivvy, a couple other bits, go for a wander, find a swim that I like the look of, see if I can see any fish. Unlikely in this weather, but you never know. And then set up, get the barrow down there, and then I will check back in. So let's see how wet I can get in the next probably hour or so. Joy. Right, just had a little wander, brought some a couple of bits down, and I think I'm settling on this one here, which is Fox Corner. So if I spin round, it's a decent looking swim, and you've got, as it says, it's a corner, and so got a nice little margin, nice little bay over here. There's a bit of fizzing to my left. Yeah, I think this will do. Oh, I'm going to set the bivvy up, then I'm going to go and get the rest of the kit. So why don't I do this type of fishing very often? Oh God. Not only am I soaked, and as you can probably see, I can't see I can't see anything. In this bivvy is so humid because it's still warm, it's still quite warm. It's just really wet. So I don't want to open all the vents up and let just everything get, well, the front vents are open, the rear vent isn't. And just let all the water in. So far, I pushed the old barrow into the shelter like I normally do. Took this bed chair off that I'm sat on, which is, to be fair, it's a new bed chair. This is the first time I'm using it. Well, new to me, it was my brother-in-law's. So it's a big old, I don't know what it is actually, can't see. It's a Nash Indulgence type jobby, big, wide boy mother. And I thought, yeah, that'd be perfect, absolutely perfect, which it is, I'm sure, going to be very comfy. But even in a bivvy of this size, I'm going to have to fit it in a different angle than my old ones, which means that my what do you call it, barrow that normally sits in here with me is going to have to go outside. Oh God, and I'm getting a headache from where it's been so stressful trying to get this thing up in the peeing down rain. I'm gonna have a chill for a minute. There's no rush. I'm here, what is it, Thursday, probably about midday-ish now, and I'm here until Saturday morning. So I've got that amount of time to make something happen. Oh God. Right, I'm going to sit here for a minute, have some water, have a chill, and then hopefully I'll demist and get on with getting all this sorted. This is normally, to be fair, this is the last thing that I would normally do on a fishing session, is get the bivvy up and get everything in it and get sorted. But because it's peeing down, I just don't want everything soaked. So, yeah. Everything's in a degree of dryness. And then I will go and have a lead around, find a couple of areas. I'm either going to stick some bait. I think, to be honest, actually, I think I'm just going to put the rod straight out. I don't know. I'll have a think. Now, I can only apologise if the sound quality is not very good. I am in the middle of testing some new microphones. Little wireless ones that attach to the phone. So what I'm going to do now is see if I can find some spots. Now, firstly, I'm going to go in the corner. That is where I'm thinking of one of my rods. It's fairly smooth. Looks quite good. A bit closer in. Pretty shallow. Feels like the odd bit of weed, but not a lot. Okay, so I think we'll class the corner as a good swim for one rod. Now let's go over towards the other side. Right in the middle. I think it's very deep at all that is weed. Let's go dead out ahead now, away from the aerator. I was nearly on the bank. Okay, I'm going to try over to my left, just where some lilies are. I think I should be able to get to that with a bag on. I reckon that's maybe 3 foot deep there at the very most. Ah, gravel. That's perfect there. Okay. Let's clip that up. Yeah, there's a lot of gravel there. Let's see if we can hit that spot again. Good gravel. Okay, we'll stick with that for the right hand rod, and then we'll go in the margin for the left hand rod. Okay, sorted. Well, that's both rods out on the dance floor, as they say. Am I confident? I think they're both in a good area. Got decent bait around them. They both landed well. The right hand rod is sort of, how can I do it? About there, which is a nice gravel spot. And the left hand rod is in here somewhere. So yeah, I'm happy with where they are. I haven't seen any signs of any other fish anywhere else whilst I've been doing stuff. It's actually calmed down a bit at the moment. It's not raining, which is lovely. But now I think it's time to sort the bivvy out a little bit so it's a bit more comfortable. Make myself some food and see what happens, I suppose. see what unfolds. I'll run through the tactics and stuff that I'm doing at some point in the video. Maybe the setup, rods and reels, just kind of carp setup. As most of you know, and you'll see by my videos, I don't do this type of fishing very often, which is why I struggle a bit with the kit. Every single time I think, oh, do you know what? I just need a rucksack and a bivvy. You just end up with so much stuff, because I like things separate. So I've got a bag for my cookware stuff, all my cooking stuff is in it. I've got another bag for all my freezer goodies, another bag for the actual food, a massive bag for all my kit. Then you've got chair, bed chair. Yeah, it just mounts up, it really does. And let's leave them as they are. Probably not going to bother messing about with them too much. I'll leave them out until probably later on today, before night. If they don't go, then I'll probably refresh them before night, before probably after dinner, depending on what I have. Potentially gonna see what the old Deliveroo's got on it. Bit cheeky when I'm supposed to be in the gym, starting a new kind of fitness regime, but I've never classed as being on the bank as being a healthy pursuit. And a massive amount of bubbles just come up right next to the tips of my rod. I mean, there's a fair amount of tension here, they say. Could have been one of them, or just gas. Yeah, what was I saying? Well, the bubbles are actually moving out. I can see the bubbles in front now. Whatever it was, it's on the move. Yeah, what was I saying? Can't actually remember. Yeah, this time I did actually go healthy-ish for one of my meals, in the fact that it's not just, my mainstay would be either a couple of pasties warmed up on the Ridge Monkey, or a couple of pot noodles, lots of crisps, that kind of thing. And don't get me wrong, I've still got pot noodles and I've still got crisps, but not at the quantity that I would normally bring with me. And I was going to try and do like a potatoes, onions, and sausage with a bit of gravy for us tea, but I'll probably do that tomorrow. And the potatoes, trapped potatoes, as Bob Mortimer calls them, tinned potatoes. Not use them in, well, I don't know if I've ever used them or eaten them, but Bob Mortimer made them look nice on TV, so I thought it was worth a go. They'll soak up all the juices, get a bit crispy in the Ridge Monkey. Yeah. Anyway, stop waffling on and get some lunch on the go. I'm not going to lie to you. A massive lightning bolt just hit and it was very, very close. I absolutely pooed myself. And it makes you feel a little bit nervous being in a wooded area. Trees all around me. Carbon fibre rods. Oh, I'm hoping that doesn't keep going, because that was so loud. It went flash, it was close. I've just had to batten down the hatches, close all the door up, because it is absolutely torrential now. Now the only problem is The bivvy's on a slight slope and the water's just pouring down. So I've had to kind of try and lift up the ground sheet around the bivvy so that the water's sort of going under it and out the other side, because it started to come in the corner. I thought I was going to flood myself out. The front of my rod pod is now nearly underwater. Well, it's in a big puddle anyway. God. Now this is at the time when, you know, if one of those rods go off, I'll probably be quite annoyed because I would get absolutely drenched out there at the moment. Now this is set, it looks to be until around 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, this kind of heaviness. And then it should start to lighten up a bit. I mean, it feels like we're coming into night, you know. It looks and feels dark. You know, it's only 2:30 in the afternoon. Absolutely crazy. But yeah, there's literally nothing I can do at the moment apart from batten down the hatches, hope I don't get flooded up, and wait for it to pass, or at least some of it to pass. C'est la vie. Not gonna lie, I had a bit of a snooze. Just lay down on the bed, put my head on the pillow and conked out for a little while. God knows how, with the amount of noise there is in here with this rain hitting the roof. But what else can I do? It is that wet out there. If it wasn't raining, I would have repositioned my right hand rod, because I've seen a fish roll straight out in front of me. I haven't seen anything else, I just saw that roll probably an hour or two ago. It is just starting to calm down now, but I haven't seen anything else out there. I have had a fair few bleeps on that rod, on my right hand rod, so I want to reposition that with a new solid bag on it. Left hand rod hasn't done a single thing, so maybe I will move the left hand rod to where the right hand rod is and move the right hand rod straight out in front of me, I think, when I can. But with the weather like it is now, it does seem to have calmed down. It's still quite loud in here, but I think that's because it's dripping off the trees. Looking out at the lake, it's still raining, but not as heavy as it was. It got to a point where I thought there was a chance that I was going to be washed out and I was going to have to move or retreat, one of the two, because I thought I was going to get flooded, but it seems to have calmed down a bit. This is just, if it's like this all the time, which looking at the weather forecast, it's going to be near enough constant rain all the rest of this day, all night, and most of tomorrow. It's just going to be a bit of a boring video if it's me just sat in a bivvy the whole time. It's boring enough for me, let alone anyone watching this. Yeah, hopefully it calms down enough that I can at least open the door back up, reposition the rods, and oh, I've just seen some bubbling. 2 patches of bubble actually in front of me, so I think that's definitely going to be the plan. I've got to put a rod straight out in front of me if there's activity. 3 patches of bubbles actually, right hand, middle, and then straight out. But you know, I'm a solid bag angler, when I'm carp fishing, really. So unless I completely change my tactic, it's going to be very tricky to cast one out at the moment. Yeah, there's definitely a lot of patches of bubbles out in front of me. So that's definitely going to be the tactic. One rod's going to go straight out ahead, and the left hand rod will stay in the margin, but where the right hand rod is now, if I can get out of this bivvy. anything with a PVA bag is a nightmare when you've got dampness. That's why I keep a separate bucket for the made PVA bags. I need to make sure my hands are dry. In fact, the way that I always do them, so I use the Gemini stems, which is this, and I just tie a big loop in the end, which if you haven't caught a fish, like I haven't, it's very easy. It gets a bit tighter if you do it on a fish, and then you literally just feed that back through there, feed the loop over the hook link and lead, and then put it off. I'm just going to make sure that this is nice and dry. So I've just wrapped this one up. So this is at 11.5 wraps, which is the left hand rod going over to where the right hand rod was before. So in front of the lilies. That should be fine. Okay, it wasn't until it hit the roof of the bivvy. Oh, that's still good. And then you literally get these little pre-made bag that I've made yesterday, I think, or the day before, I can't remember now. Pinch the little loop so it goes through this loop, pull it through like so, then put the bag through the loop, pull it up, and you're fishing. Well, when it's in the water anyway. Right, let's get this out. So, nice, gentle chuck over to the left. Check this out behind me, probably going to get wet one way or another. Perfect. Sinking the line is actually quite tricky because there's a lot of reeds in the margin. And these are only 10-foot rods, so we'll try. Let's leave that to sink down for a minute and then get the other one out, which is going to go straight out in front. I haven't seen anything show now though for a little while. The bubbles seem to have stopped. That may be because I fired out a fair amount of bait before food, but I'm sure they'll be back. So let's get the other one on. I think I'm actually going to bring my little chair out and sit out here for a bit whilst it's not raining. I've opened up the front of the bivvy as well so that it gets a bit of air in there. Hopefully it stays like this and we get no more ridiculous downpours. It's not showing, you know, I think from 10 o'clock this morning till 5 o'clock it was showing like 90% rain. So yeah, you know, heavy rain. But from now on it's showing, I think 30 to 40 for the rest of my trip at the moment, last time I checked. So hopefully we'll be all right. Let's get the other rod out. Then I'm going to bring my chair out and have a little perch. Rod number 2. Straight out. Bit of weed on there. I'm sure that'll be fine. Went down all right. Not too shabby. It is so warm, ridiculously warm. Oh, well, they're both out. All good. Just wait for the lines to sink a bit, and then stick the old bobbins on. Then fingers crossed. fell on dark now. Well, near enough. It's about 8:30. Nothing's happened in a long time. I really thought there was going to be a run with the amount of fish that were jumping around, which is why I didn't move the rods. I just left them where they were, but the jumping kind of seemed to stop about half an hour ago. Nothing happening. So I thought I'll freshen up both rods. So I put a new PVA bag on each, put them back into position. So it's just waiting now, if I'm honest. See what happens through the night. I've got the receiver next to me so that I can hear a run. Hopefully something happens during the night, of which it does. I probably won't be able to have time to be able to get this onto a tripod and film it. Plus it'll be blooming dark anyway. So I'll just set this up once I've landed the fish safely and put it in the, either in the retainer or probably keep it in the net, get this set up, and then we can yeah, have a look at him. Hopefully we'll see how things go, but if not, I'll see you in the morning, and hopefully tomorrow's a better day. Right, I'm just going to zero the sling. There we go. Ready to receive the parcel. Oh, I don't know how big it is. It's about 4:20 in the morning. Was not expecting that. Oh, it's a beautiful old looking fish though. Alright, let's take that hook out. You have to do this slightly more carefully when it's a barb, semi-barbed, but as long as you're gentle, out she comes. Stick that over there, give it a quick lift up, and then we'll give her away. Let's turn this off. Look at this absolute beauty. What a stunning fish. I think it may do 20. Oh, feels very close to me at the moment. Calm down, Betsy. You're in your sling now. I was hoping this microphone is picking this up. Otherwise it's a bit useless. Right, let's have a little scores on the doors. I'm reckoning close to 20, if not 20. But let's see. Oh yeah, 22. Calm down. 22. Oh. 22.2. That's what we're going to say. So lovely. Lovely fish that. Let's get her out and have another look. She doesn't try and beat the hell out of me. Right, come on in. What an awesome fish. Well, let's slip this one back because it is very early in the morning. And see what else comes along. Yeah, it's about 20 past 4, half 4 now. But that was well worth being woke up for. What an absolutely stunning Yateley common. No. I'm tired, I'm sorry. Yateley mirror. What a beautiful dinosaur looking thing, really. And that came on the right hand rod. So out at a bit more distance into the middle. Like I've here just heard another fish jump, so never know. Could be a chance of another one. I haven't put that rod back out because if I'm honest, I'm knackered and I want to go back to sleep. Like I said before in a previous video, I'm not a hardened carper, but I'm happy with that as a result. So let's sort my mess out, climb back into the pit and go back to sleep, and I will see you in the morning. Well, that was not a good night's sleep. It's been raining almost constantly, although for the last, it's just started to calm down now, but for the last hour, 2 hours maybe, it's been torrential. Now the problem is, as I found with this bivvy, now, you get a lot of condensation on the inside, which doesn't normally do much. It just sits there, and then once you open the doors up, it dries itself out, kind of thing. But when it's raining, all that condensation that's on the roof comes down. So everything is getting soaked, and it's getting on my nerves. If I'm honest, because I don't feel very well, I think I'm going to call it a day when I can, because yeah, everything's just drenched. My clothes that I sat next to me over there to get changed into, because I'm wearing shorts, because I always sleep in shorts, I can't sleep in trousers or anything like that. I soaked. So yeah, I can see the water is now just starting to come in through the front door as well, which is nice. Yeah, I don't see the point. As much as I'd love to carry on fishing, yeah, I feel rough. But at least I had a fish. But I'll see how it goes and see how the morning goes. But probably not. Probably not. Right, well, that is going to be the end of the video. So it probably will be quite a short one, considering I was actually here longer than, you know, any sessions I've done recently, that's for sure. But there's only so much you can film when you're sat in a bivvy in a torrential rain. Can't just come out and do a bit, because you just get soaked and it won't be very good to watch. But I've done as best as I could, and I managed to catch a Yateley Carp, which I don't think I've done before. Yes, it is, you know, it's not from the Car Park Lake or Yateley South Lake, but it's still a Yateley water, and it was a carp, and you could see it. It was a proper old looking dinosaur. I absolutely loved it. So at least I didn't blank. I caught a decent carp. I've got a break now, according to the weather forecast, which is always right, always. I've got a break of about an hour to 2 hours where the rain is only at 30–40% chance. Then it's going to head up to back up to 90%. And thunderstorms, that reckons, later. So it's not worth the risk. I was getting soaked inside the bivvy as it is, so I'm going to call that a day. So all I've got left is to pack down the bivvy and then shoot off. So thank you very much for watching. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you on the next one.